Shalom, this is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries. I just have something very amazing that I have to share. As you can see, there's a menorah, and the menorah shows an amazing principle that Yahshua puts all through his scriptures, and it's the principle of how he loves to mirror things, and there's symmetry. And even in the menorah itself, you see just the beautiful symmetry. You know, how this candlestick mirrors this candlestick, and the next inner candlestick mirrors this candlestick, and so on and so forth. And you can even apply various spiritual principles to this, such as if you look at the candlesticks as the 7 congregations in Revelation, you have Ephesus and you have Laodicea. And of course, Ephesus lost its first love, Laodicea is lukewarm. So there's similarities between those outer tier congregations. And you can do various things like that. But I want to apply this to the Daniel's 70 weeks and Daniel's 69 weeks, sort of a continuation of the podcast I did a couple of days ago. So if you look at that podcast, you'll notice that the 69 weeks of Daniel are fulfilled from 467 BC, when the decree is issued to rebuild Jerusalem, and all the way to 17 AD, when Yahshua dies and rises again. There's 7 weeks of years, 7 times 7, 49 years. And then there's another 62 weeks of years, another 434 years, for a total of 483 years. And that was the Daniel 69 weeks that I had in my podcast. But now look at the symmetry here. There's another 49 years on this side. There's the 17, and exactly 49 years later is 66 AD, when the Jews first began the revolt against against Rome. So you have another 483 years. It's just a beautiful symmetry right there. And it doesn't even stop there. You have exactly 2,000 years. Now, I can't prove that this is the exact date of the flood, but I have a strong hunch from Yah that it is. 2,000 years from the day the temple is finished to Noah's flood. And 50 years later, the Tower of Babel. And then we have another 2,000 years. "2,000 years from when Yahshua dies and rises again to when he returns." And look at the menorah that's formed here. It is beautiful. You have Noah's flood, and as it is in the days of Noah, so will it be in the days of the Son of Man. Noah's flood and Yahshua's return, the Son of Man's return, as the outer tier of the menorah. You have the Tower of Babel and the Jews recapturing Jerusalem as the next inner tier. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand, and I don't have a good drawing program on my computer. You have 467 BC, where the decree is issued to rebuild Jerusalem, connected to when the Jews first begin the revolt against Rome. And what is the central tier? Now, the central tier has 2 sides. The temple being finished and Yahshua rising again. A beautiful menorah of the ages. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. spiritandtorah.com is the website. Shalom.